Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dad's Turn to Talk. My name is Bob, and we have a fun one for you tonight. As later in the show, we are going to be looking back at the original Running Man from 1987, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And we're doing this in preparation for the reboot, which comes out here in a couple of weeks. And we have a special guest with us tonight, the man himself, the man who has some of the best takes that I've ever seen with...
How dare you?
It's so good to have him here with us tonight.
You son of a...
The man himself, Blaine. We are so honored and privileged to have you back. It has been almost a year since you were on with us last, man, and it is great to have you on. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, dude. I'm good. Can't complain. Staying busy. Things stay chaotic as always, but it's all good things. Criticless is constantly growing, and you guys kind of all help push our little ship along. So it's doing great, man. And you know, I would normally shame you for putting that anti-shark propaganda on the screen, but you know what? I'm gonna let it slide this time. Like, you know, I know that some people just truly hate sharks, but you know, I personally don't tolerate that kind of, you know, hate speech for those gentle creatures.
You know what's funny, man, is that back when you gave your thoughts on Jaws out there, I was looking out there, people were just out to get you, man. You know, and it's funny because I actually got some footage of that. Here, check this out.
Yeah, that's very accurate. That's very accurate. It was also pretty similar when I expressed that I didn't hate Tron Ares. It looked very similar to that as well. So
yeah, man. You know, I did not understand the hate for that movie. I did not find it to be that bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, was it as good as Tron Legacy? No, but I didn't think it was worth the hate that it was getting.
No. I mean, and look, honestly, especially in the barren wasteland that has been this year for film, like I'm kind of just, I'll take what I can get at this point. And I was like, well, I didn't want to just totally like yeet myself out of a 3-story building head first after seeing it. So it's a good time.
Well, here in just a moment, we want to go ahead and talk to you about the Criticless app and what's been going on since you were last on the show with us. But before we do that, Derek, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you, sir. Blaine, thanks for coming on. Love a good guest and happy to have you here.
Yeah, man.
Excited about the topics that we have for tonight. I will say this, though. Blaine, now that you know what it feels like to be chased by sharks, that clip should have no problem for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Because Jaws is awesome. Excuse me.
Listen, I found that even if you just say that it's mid, that is actually more controversial than actually hating it and like absolutely loathing it. If you're just like, hey, it's mid, like it's a fine time, that is way worse than just being like, this is the worst movie ever made.
I've gotten a kick off reading your stuff on Criticless too, Blaine, because I was reading your review for Hook, and it's just tremendous. Because my favorite line, and if I may quote it verbatim, what is it?
Right.
What is Hook?
Right.
And I can answer that question for you. It is magic. That's what Hook is.
Yeah. Yes, okay? It is magic. It is absolute magic. Yeah, it is absolute magic. It is. It's my wife's favorite film. So,
there you go.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that tomorrow. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. I was wondering when you were going to do that one, because the last time I was on with you on Criticless Cast, you were telling me how the show has really taken the form of looking back at films that critics panned as opposed to reviewing a lot of new stuff. And I was wondering when you all were going to review Hook, because this is a film that I saw as a kid and I absolutely adored Hook. And to this day, I still think that it holds up pretty well. It's got great performances from the actors. And like Derek said, I do think it's magic. And so I was wondering when y'all were going to do this one.
Yeah, people have been asking because it's one of those requested ones. I was kind of waiting for the right time. And with it being my wife's birthday on Thursday and one of her favorite films, I was like, yeah, no. And so she's coming on. We're going to review it. And so it's going to be fun. I mean, I literally had like my son has it somewhere. I have Hook action figures from the actual movie. And I actually had like a, I had like Rufio, and I had like it was not even in the movie, but like a vehicle that was like for the Lost Boys, and it like had a little cannon thing that would shoot like a punching bag. It was ridiculous and had no part in the movie whatsoever.
Oh, bro, that's really cool, man. So, as I said, it's been almost a year since you've been on. And when we last had you on, Criticless was really beginning to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, over the last year since December, where has the app gone? What's new with it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot has kind of happened as far as the app itself, like specifically, and changes that are in there. It's more of like just quality of life things that we've been slowly like tinkering with, as you've seen, because you're one of our, you've been in there for a long time. And it is more of like quality of life stuff as far as the app itself, but people didn't know that there was this other stuff kind of brewing behind the scenes, which was this big community push. And there are still things that are currently happening that we're developing and whatnot, but we've essentially partnered with Geeks and Gamers, with That Park Place, with Riververse. The whole like kind of fellowship community is really pulling together, and they're trying to and Jeremy over at Geeks and Gamers is very smart about this sort of thing and spotting kind of needed things in the community. And so with us, we're kind of this social hub, this kind of linchpin for everybody talking about entertainment. And so this had been brewing for a little bit. And anyways, basically we are, all of those content creators and stuff from the community are coming in, and we've got multiple shows now that are kind of Criticless focused shows on other channels where they focus on Criticless reviews and stuff. We've got Monday Hangover with Drunk 3PO. That's been going on for about the past year. I'm on that show. Then we for Bro Science with Fear the Beardo and X-Wing. We've got that show where we're doing manly AF movies and just talking about super manly movies every other week, and which has been fun. Yeah, that's been really fun. And so we've been doing those, and then we've got our show, and then also, like I said, with That Park Place, they're kind of another component to that. And actually, currently, what we're working on is something that you see elsewhere on the web, which is basically like when you're on certain websites and you'll see like someone drop a review or something, and then down below or somewhere embedded in the article will be like a Rotten Tomatoes score, and that kind of data on other websites. And so what we are actually currently working on is a way for excuse me, all these other websites around in this community, whether it be Geeks and Gamers, That Park Place, whatever, when they're talking about movies, TV shows and stuff, that basically they will be able to feature Criticless scores and the audience score and have links over to what's going on Criticless, so that way the exposure to everything happening in our community will be spread further through all of these other websites and stuff. So it is this big kind of community push that's all been happening at one time. And there are a lot of other things brewing with all of this currently that, can and can't talk about. And it's just fun, big stuff. I think it's really cool. And it's this whole, I guess, the fellowship and G&G in general is just a really cool group of people that all want to see companies like Criticless succeed, and kind of want this to be like everybody wins. And so that's really where we've been over the past year, is really kind of doubling down on all of this, getting everything ready for it, because hopefully before too long, Criticless will have video games, which is the other big thing that everyone's pushing for. Right. And so, yeah, a lot of folks are wanting video games. And so when we add that database and have it will be in a way in which our users can basically say, when they, instantly get on Criticless, it'll kind of ask, like, do you want video games? Do you want movies and TV shows, whatever? And then you can kind of curate your experience. So it's like when my wife uses it, she doesn't ever want to see video games. So we've built it in a way where when video games come in, she won't have to see them. So there's cool stuff happening for sure.
All right, well, just because this is our first our first live, we do have our very first comment. I do want to go ahead and highlight this here. So, is this true here, Blaine?
The level of accuracy in this comment is I'm not going to speak on it. My wife's probably lingering somewhere, and she'll pipe into this chat and will be like, it's true, and I hate his guts for it. Like, but he's not wrong. He's kind of spotted me. So, as it goes.
So just a couple of more things here real quick before we actually start getting into our topics for the night. I did want to ask you, because you mentioned how some of these others like sites will feature like the Rotten Tomatoes score, and how now it's going to be, you're going to hopefully see the critical score featured throughout the year. Since you guys are kind of an alternative to Rotten Tomatoes, what have you seen or which films kind of stuck out to you that really differed in the critical score as opposed to the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Well, the one easy kind of low-hanging fruit is One Battle After Another. Okay. That is a huge one. I mean, our One Battle After Another score is at a 38%, which is staggeringly lower than everywhere else, where it's like in the upper 80s, 90s on all these other sites. That's a big one, and has triggered some people. And I told you guys before the show started that it sounds like a hit piece is coming out pretty soon about me and Criticless and stuff. And I think one of the things that garnered me on that radar is actually my review of that movie, and then it drew them to the critical score, and then it kind of snowballed from there. So I mean, it is what it is. People don't like when there's a community with differing opinions out there, and it's kind of, that is one thing that I've noticed about a lot of the film stuff, and this goes for any side of the political aisle, where it's just like there tends to be a lot of like group thinky stuff that happens. So like, for example, even with like the new Superman film, where if you were to be on certain parts of the internet, you would think that like this was one of the most hated movies of all time. And it on Criticless, the score is currently it's still at least at a decent. So that's the thing, is like on some sites you'd think it was the most amazing thing ever. Talk to some people, you think it was the worst, but it's right in the middle, which is I'm not surprised. And that's like 426 reviews. Like that's a ton for, as you've watched with us growing, like especially with our site and how new we are. Like people really had opinions on that movie, and for it to be in the decent range doesn't surprise me.
Just here alone, we had differing opinions. Josh, who's not with us again, he'll be with us a little bit later. He really loved Superman. As for Derek and I,
Superman's bad.
we just Derek didn't like it more than I did, because for me, I actually thought there was a lot to like about it. The things I didn't like about it just really stuck with me. Derek didn't like it at all, and like I said, Josh loved it. But that was the one thing. Is that here, just even on this show, we had several differing opinions. And so that's one thing I really liked over at Criticless, is that you do see that wide range there. It doesn't feel like an echo chamber.
No, it doesn't.
Not at all.
And if you were to talk to a lot of people, because that's the thing, is like currently, I mean, like it or not, a lot of our user base is mostly kind of right wing, because they're the ones that play well with others, and they're the ones that wanted to kind of encourage our stuff. And so, but that's the thing, is even though our user base is mostly more right to middle of the road, it's still got a lot of gradient to it. And I do agree about that thing about the Marvels. That has a 29% on Criticless. So
the Marvels is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Now, real-time data.
Yeah.
But, I expected that, because I thought the first Captain Marvel was pretty bad. It just did really well because it was slapped right between two of the biggest films of all time. So, I mean,
it's kind of one of those things, like all of these, and even like with Fantastic Four, like all of these movies that if you were to be on the YouTube or X spheres, you would think, the opinions were drastically different than they are. And when I come on Criticless, they seem to represent a lot more of the general opinion of just regular people. And I think that that's the thing about us versus a lot of these things is like, if you target more of your regular viewers, just your regular folks that go see movies, you're going to get a lot more organic opinion than somewhere, even like more of these niche sites like, Letterboxd or wherever, where it's like, it's this hoity-toity pretentious audience, and they all just, that is what tends to be echo chambery versus, just kind of the audience that we've hit.
Right. All right. Well, anything else you want to tell us about Criticless before we go ahead and jump into everything?
Man, that I can think of currently. I mean, like I said, we continue to just kind of double down a lot on lately on quality of life stuff is what we've been doing. And so it's a lot of the updates and stuff that we have are things that people were like, oh, that would be nice to be fixed, but it's not necessarily like groundbreaking when we announce it, but people are like, hell yeah, that's much better. So that is one of the things about being in this point of our growth, is it's less exciting stuff where I'm not like, oh man, I just added this super cool thing, right? Like that doesn't happen nearly as much. But so it's the next big thing is going to be TV seasons and video games, and hopefully those will be, before too long. But as we continue to grow, that's the big thing. So,
TV seasons will be a lot of fun because there's some good stuff coming out that I really want to talk about. So yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, like for example, The Witcher, which is out right now, which people have, every season has a big varying bit of opinions. Or like the biggest one that people talk about is oh gosh, the HBO Max True Detective. True Detective is where it's like the first season of True Detective is one of the best seasons of television ever, and diminishing returns ever since, to where the last season I could not even finish because I was just like, this is horrendous.
Well,
I heard it was.
It's peaks and valleys with that show. Like it. Yeah. I really got into season 3. Season 1 is, to your point, Blaine, it's maybe like a nearly perfect season of television. But season 3 I got into. Season 2, I still don't even know what it was. And I was like that one with you for season 4. I couldn't get there because at some point I'm just like, there's a Birdman who is committing murder. I don't know what this is about. I can't follow it. I'm done. Sign me off.
Right.
And so it's funny how shows work like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, especially those anthology shows like that, where they get different creators and different writers, different directors, whatever. And they even, during that season, they came after the original creator who's put out the best season. And they came after him with pitchforks because he was like, this sucks. Y'all ruined my show. And so,
well, they did. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So
yeah, there's no denying it. It is what it is. So, and by the way, I did want to point out Jeremy Allen in the chat. That is none other than I Miss Good Movies, our legendary Criticless user who's been around for a long time. So,
nice.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, we love reading his stuff. He puts on some good reviews. If you get a chance, Derek, go read his reviews on Criticless. He's got some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, congrats on all the success, Blaine. Seriously, it's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's like you said. I joined pretty early, and so to see how far the app has come and to be a part of that community has been really awesome. And really happy to see all the success that you guys are having.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And like I always say, we really could not do it without all of you guys, and even just and whether it's just our users, our YouTube friends that just continue to get exposure out there. It's everybody, because this thing is a community effort. It's like you can't bare bones build something like this and it just organically grow without help.
All right. So. Well, let's go ahead and let's start getting into our topics tonight, and let's start off with some news. All right, so we got a couple of pieces of news that popped out since last week. We wanted to go ahead and highlight some of those. The big one I really thought came out yesterday, and that involves some news regarding Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz for the upcoming Mummy movie that they're wanting to do. Let me go ahead here and share my screen. I want to pull up this article here. Let's see. This is over on the Hollywood Reporter. And it says Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz team with Ready or Not filmmakers for new Mummy movie. Radio Silence, the directing team known for the recent Scream hits, will direct the feature for Universal. So needless to say, when I saw this move or this news, I was immediately intrigued. So let's just go ahead and get into the article here. It says Universal's turn of the century, the Mummy franchise is back from the dead. Brendan Fraser, who led the trio of movies made between 1999 and 2008, and Rachel Weisz, who starred in the first two, are in talks to star in a new Mummy sequel. Radio Silence is set to direct. We're going to go ahead and just jump down a little bit further in the article here. And is it specifically where I wanted to point out? Here we go. It says, it is unclear who else could return. One source describes the project as not a reboot, but rather a sequel that would disregard the events of the third film. And I was curious about that being that, again, Rachel Weisz did not come back for the third film. So having her come back, I was curious if they were going to, in fact, ignore the events of the third film and just make this a direct sequel to the first two films. We've seen that with other franchises. Just one recently that I thought of was Halloween, because we reviewed Halloween last week. You've seen that multiple times where they've disregarded sequels. So I was curious what they were going to do. Blaine, you are our guest. So why don't you tell us, what do you think about this news that they're going to possibly be doing a new Mummy movie and Fraser and Weisz are coming back?
I am super excited. I mean, Brendan Fraser is, I love him. He's great. Like, he's just so much fun. He's been around forever. It'd be cool to see him back in this role. This is kind of one of his most legendary roles. And I really like Rachel Weisz too. But these movies were a ton of fun. Also, the other big thing, honestly, that gets me excited is the directors attached. The fact that this is the Ready or Not team, because that's not all that they've done. They recently did Abigail, which was really solid and I enjoyed. Now, granted, I liked Ready or Not more. But the big thing is that these are horror directors, which I think is what we need. Like, that's what we need for this series, is to lean into the horror some more, but still get those action adventure elements. Also, those guys still get comedy and do that element well. So I think that this could be a lot of fun. It's going to come down to what seems to make or break everything in Hollywood these days, which is the writing. I want to know who is writing this movie and what's going on there, because as long as the writing is solid, I think that this is almost guaranteed to be a hit. People will love it. People are very nostalgic about this series, and so I'm game. Give it to me, especially from these creators and stuff. So yeah, this sounds like a blast.
Yeah, I know. I saw the news, and my first thought was, take my money. I mean, here we go. I mean, like I said, I was already intrigued just when I heard that the two of them were in talks. Derek, what do you think about this? You think this is a good idea? You think this could work?
So, just to give my thoughts, the original Mummy, I think, kind of low-key caught people very much by surprise. I don't think they were expecting it to be as fun and as good as it was. I know I wasn't. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, God, Encino Man's going to go to Egypt and mess around with like zombie taped up. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And then you saw it and you're like, wait, did I just have a lot of fun? I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, I think I liked it. And I'm sure, I'll read a review like that on Criticless one of these days where it's like, I think I liked that.
Right.
So this, like we were talking about, Bob, did you ever see Abigail?
Yes. Okay. So Abigail, that was an interesting one. Because I wasn't sure what to think of it. I heard a lot of people saying that it was a lot of fun. And so I'm thinking, okay, this vampire movie with this kid and whatnot. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, let me go ahead and check it out. And I actually enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought I would. I think my favorite part of that whole movie is where that one person asks, I forget the guy, asks him, you know what else about vampires? And he's like, what, that they're not real?
Yeah, that movie's super fun, and it turns out that it's a Dracula prequel technically, because she's supposed to be the daughter of Dracula or whatever, which is a super cool concept, and we haven't seen. I honestly, my biggest beef with that movie was the marketing. I think that it would have been much better if no one knew that she was a vampire. If everybody went in blind to that fact, they could have even alluded to vampires, but just not it being her, because that would have hit so hard. But it was still a lot of fun.
So that all kind of wraps up into the point that you guys were, Blaine was especially talking about, with the fact that if we get that kind of director with this kind of a film, I don't think people would just want to see more of the same when it comes to something like this, because then it's just going to feel recycled and people are going to be like, oh, we just wasted our time with something that we've seen before. You got to put a different twist on it, and I think that's what the directors are going to do. We'll see exactly what the writing, formulates with all this. Should be interesting with the directors now that you have that lens that's going to be tied to it. I don't think there's much of anything to not like based off what we've seen so far. I mean, really the only thing that could tank it is probably the writing. But then again, let's not be negative.
Right.
This looks like fun. Come on. Let's have a good time. Sign me up. Hey, what's not to like? A little bit more fun in the desert with monsters? I'm down. Come on.
And honestly, my mind went to instantly. I'm like, we keep seeing like the Universal monster stuff being like a failed attempt, right?
Yeah.
But like, what if they just came out swinging, went for similar vibe to what they were trying to do when they did all the stuff with like the monster universe with Tom Cruise and all that, except for the linchpin is Brendan Fraser. And like they kickstarted it with this movie and this team and all of that. I'm like, bro, I could actually get behind that. Like if you tethered the monster universe to this world and what they did with this part of the Mummy universe and the monster universe.
That's not a bad idea.
I think that was part of the problem with the monster universe is that they were kicking it off with a reboot of the Mummy. And like you said, people are very nostalgic for this particular franchise. I mean, like I said, when I saw that these two are in talks to come back, I immediately got excited. And you mentioned this, Derek, that only the writing could probably tank this because these two have incredible chemistry. That was something that was missing in the third film, is that we did not have that. I mean, I don't think that the third film's terrible, but when you compare it to what came before, it is definitely a far downgrade to that. And it's just one that people like to ignore because this is the team that they have the fondness for.
It's the first one that really has the magic. I'll be the first to admit that. I mean, everyone after that was kind of like, but I mean, like you said, Bob, they're not bad, but it's like the first one is just piece de resistance.
So good.
Like, it's exactly the kind of fun you want to have in a big blockbuster movie. Really good stuff.
And fun little tidbit of information here. So back in the day, because this came out when I was a kid, or the first one did, and I really wanted to see it really bad. And I was like, oh, this is PG-13. My parents are probably going to let me see this. And I got Entertainment Weekly like magazine at the time, and I would always read reviews and stuff. And so anyways, I was reading through reviews, and one of the reviews said that the movie had cleavage, and they were talking about Rachel Weisz, I guess, in the movie, or maybe the Mummy. There was some point in the movie where they were talking about that, right? And so I'm reading it, and my mom was in the room, and I was like, hey, what is cleavage? And and she busts out laughing, right? And I'm like, oh no, like what just happened? And so she ends up telling me what it is. And so then I quickly had to, she's like, what movie is it saying has cleavage in it? And I was like, oh shit, she's going to tell me that I can't watch this movie. I just freaking screwed my own chances of watching The Mummy. And so I found another movie in Entertainment Weekly, and I was like, oh yeah, they said this movie had it. And totally lied because I was like, there's no way that I'm not going to not get to see The Mummy. And then funny enough, there was a scene in the movie, my mom went to see it with me, where I think she's in like a sheer dress. And my mom went to cover my eyes and poked her fingernail in my eyeball at the start of the movie. And so great experience.
After that cleavage comment, we now have our answer to that first comment there. So,
that's it.
There's your answer.
But I think this looks like this could be a lot of fun. Like Derek said, sign me up for this one as well.
Do we have a release date on this? Like any time?
No.
No.
Right now they're just in talks, and we know who's going to direct it. I don't think it's official that they're coming back, but I don't see them saying no if they're reporting this. If this gets off the ground, I'm pretty sure that they're coming back. And with all of all of the stuff that you mentioned, Blaine, all the crap that's been coming out lately, to bring out a beloved franchise like this, as long as they don't pick it apart and try to deconstruct it or anything like that, just have a good time with it. I think that this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Agreed.
Go to have fun.
All right. Anything else before we move on to the next article we got here?
Best of luck, Brendan. Loved you in Encino, man.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's get into this next article here. Let me share my screen again here with this one. And this has to do with some news that came out regarding the Rambo prequel. Noah Centinneo's Rambo prequel lands at Lionsgate studio, also lands at Lionsgate as studio also strikes major deal for Expendables rights. So I actually went ahead and read this article earlier, and it talks a little bit about how they got the rights to both the Rambo franchise and the Expendables, and we'll touch on that in a moment. But in the article, it says Lionsgate has struck a major deal covering both the Rambo and the Expendables action franchises with Millennium Media. Under the terms, the studio has acquired the rights to develop and produce all derivative works, including future film and television productions of the Expendables franchise, as well as worldwide distribution rights to John Rambo, the upcoming 6th installment of the Rambo film series. The agreement also makes Lionsgate lead studio and production partner with Millennium on all future Rambo television projects moving forward, and includes the opportunity for the studio to participate in future Rambo films. In addition, Lionsgate now holds the rights to develop derivative works based on the Expendables, including films and television series, video games, immersive experiences, and other cross-platform extensions. Lionsgate has also confirmed reports from earlier this year that Noah Centineo is in final negotiations to play the iconic role in John Rambo, which Sisu filmmaker Jalmari Helander is set to direct. Production is slated to begin next year in Thailand, and Lionsgate will launch sales for the film at the upcoming AMF. We'll go ahead and stop there. So this is the guy who's going to be playing John Rambo in the prequel, or at least is in talks to play him. So just on the news of the casting, again, this was kind of talked about earlier this year. Before I get into the intricacies of the deal, are you guys interested in a Rambo prequel? Derek, what do you think?
Interested, yes, but I think it's going to be hard to do. Here's why I say that. Blaine's been on our pod before, where he's talked about how movies that we watched as kids, they might not translate to people, in the now. Now, it doesn't they will probably, let's face it, cater toward us, guys like you and me, Bob, because when we see Rambo, our heart swells. Like we want to see Rambo stab 500 people. Like I can't wait. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it's going to be the same effect for, Lord knows how many others in terms of a general audience now. It's going to, and plus, Rambo may have been popular in the 80s, but how many people know who Rambo is now? It's going to be hard to make this relevant again. Now, it doesn't mean they can't do it. It doesn't mean they can't retell the story and reintroduce it, but I think that's going to be the heaviest lift here. Now, in terms of the casting, okay, yeah, I guess I buy it right now. It's kind of hard to know until he grows that hair out real long and puts extra grease in it like Rambo. Plus, that dude's going to have to bulk up. If you're gonna do a Sly film, you better start going to the gym now. But at the same time, who knows? It could also be a really cool effect where, like, a director comes in and makes it super, super dark, like real, real dark, and makes it kind of like, imagine if we had, a real time like Punisher movie with, I can't remember the actor's name, the guy who plays him now.
John Barenthal.
Yeah, like imagine like a John Barenthal Punisher movie now and how dark that would be. This is going to have to reach that level. It's really going to have to dig deep. Will I see it? Yeah, I'll see it. Who are we kidding? I'm a sucker for this stuff, but I think it's got its work cut out for it. I don't know if it's going to be able to hold strong like Rambo had done for us when we were kids, because Rambo was everywhere when we were kids. But now, I don't know how much luster is there for a general audience today. I mean, I hope it resonates a little bit, but it's hard to know at this point. It's a toss gamble, I think.
Now, you mentioned how it's probably got to go dark. Blaine, what do you think about the possibility that they focus maybe on his Vietnam days, maybe show the time when he was a prisoner of war, some of that, just kind of see what he did during the war before he goes home and all the events of the first film. So, you think that that's going to be the focus?
Yeah, I think it will be, because that's probably the angle that they'll have to take, and that was my thought too, and that's going to be an interesting thing to navigate. Granted, if you go back and watch, which a lot of people don't realize, like I think most people's heads, the first Rambo film was actually Rambo 2, because First Blood was the name of the first film. And I think a lot of people, I even talked to my dad recently about it. He's like, I don't ever think I saw the first one. And like the first one's phenomenal, but both those first two films are great, but they are very different. Like that second film is more of an action romp. Like it gets into the one-man army stuff, like a lot deeper than that first one did. The first one was a lot more grounded. It was in the US. I'm curious, because tackling Vietnam now, I mean, obviously that war in general has a stank on it, which it is what it is. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. But also, those first two Rambo movies were very much like pretty like it came after the government pretty hard, and the first one was straight up coming after cops and like people that were discriminating against Vietnam War vets. So I mean, there's a right way to do this. They better have Stallone on the writers room
Yeah.
Like if he's not, and he's not involved with the film, then I don't know that I'd want anything to do with it, in all honesty. Like he's got to have his hands in it, or they can forget it. So we'll see, but he's still working hard. I mean, and he's been doing Tulsa King, and that's been really fun, and he's super invested in that, and it's a great show. So, like, I'll watch it if he's attached. I'll watch it, and also this Noah kid, Centino. They're clearly wanting him to happen. He's going to be the guy who's playing Ryu in the new Street Fighter movie. Like, they're clearly trying to make this guy happen. So we'll see. I'm curious. I haven't seen him in enough to know if I think he's going to be the next guy or not, or if he can hold up to Stallone.
He was in Warfare, wasn't he?
He was. He had a small role. Well, everybody in Warfare was pretty like evenly kind of split up, but none of them were big roles. But yeah, he was in Warfare. He was in the show The Recruit on Netflix that did really well. I didn't watch that. I'm not familiar with him enough, but they're clearly trying to make him happen right now.
What kind of intrigues me about this is that it's from the Sisu director. Now, I didn't actually see Sisu, but I know of Sisu, and I know how violent it is, and so that might be right up the alley of what you want for a Rambo prequel, especially if you're going to touch on some of the stuff that happened during the Vietnam War for this character. So I think that might be the right way to go as far as the director goes. And I agree with you. If Stallone's involved in this, I think that will add kind of that blessing that fans are going to be looking for, because if they just do it without him, I don't know if it's going to have the same success. It's going to me, that would be kind of like Creed 3, where it didn't kind of have Stallone's blessing on it, and that kind of suffered as opposed to the previous two Creed films.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question about this?
Go ahead.
So is this set to be like a released in theaters movie?
It didn't say, but my guess,
assume so.
I would assume so.
I'm wondering if this may do better as a series, like a streaming series. I think you could get into more stories that way, get into some depth, maybe some.
Right.
It might not be a bad idea to do that this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Well, that actually brings me to kind of where I was going to go with the next point, was all the little tidbits about this deal, and that said that they had television rights here and distribution rights. So there is the possibility that it could go that direction. Now, this involved both the Rambo franchise as well as the Expendables franchise. Same thing. That would be something where I'd want Stallone's blessing behind before they ended up moving forward with that. Now, the question is, we kind of already touched on Rambo. What about the Expendables? Is this a franchise that you think even is it worth the time to continue? You think there's still some life there? What do you think, Blaine?
I mean, all those guys are getting real old. And the problem is, and it's one of the things that we talk about on Bro Science with that Manly AF movies, is that like we've kind of lost the modern like macho male action star for the most part. I just don't know. It's like, who are they going to pass the torch to, right? Because like we don't have a big catalog of modern macho like actors like that, where it's like I think a lot of these guys have kind of undercut themselves in that space, where it's like at one time I would have considered Dave Bautista in that space, but he's kind of just like no, I don't want him involved, and other people like that, where it's just they don't have the love that the original Expendables guys did, and a lot of those guys are almost too old to even do another one. So what is the Expendables unless we are building out some type of young version of all these characters or something weird? So, I mean, there are other people out there where it's like, the new Running Man is coming out. Glenn Powell is probably the closest thing to that we have. And I'm pretty sure he was actually in one of the Expendables. So, he could be involved. But otherwise, I really don't know.
So what about you, Derek? You think there's some life in the Expendables? Because for me, what makes the Expendables what it is the fact that it is all of these 80s and 90s action stars.
That's just it. And if you don't have that, then what do you have? You know, I mean, Blaine was just saying it. How the hell do you replace all that? That was the beauty of this. I don't think you can. Now, okay, to Blaine's point, Glenn Powell is up there. I think the guy who plays Reacher could be in there too.
Right.
I bet you that, like, see, here's the other thing. Then probably Idris Elba could get in there too. He's actually
right
badass. So I think Dave Bautista could get in there, but it's again, bulk up and get badass again.
Right.
So, but then, like, you have a guy like John Cena, like, he's a little too funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can't take that seriously. So then
you bring
you
in
really
Henry Cavill, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
so this gets really tricky, because now to find a way to replenish, I mean, how many action stars do they have in those? Like a good 10 to 12?
right.
Give or take.
Right.
So now you got to find another batch of that, and that's going to be really hard to do.
It could be interesting. I'm like trying to go through the catalog here of like some of these, because that's the thing, is all those guys were like A-listers, because in the 80s and 90s we just had this action bro thing going on. So now it's like, you know, maybe they could pull in like some of these other TV stars or smaller movie stars. Like you could get maybe Jason Momoa. Like you could maybe bring in the dudes from like Supernatural. You know, like you could like get weird with it, but at the same time, I just don't know how that would work.
Hey, we just got joined by Josh. He finally decided to grace us with his presence.
I'm sorry. Actually, my meeting went fast, so I was happy with that.
All right. Well, right now, Josh, we're talking about...
what up, dude?
What's going on?
Right now, Josh, we're talking about the Rambo prequel and the Expendables, and the fact that Lionsgate had landed the rights to both of these here. And... you know, the question is there any life still in the Expendables franchise? Because as far as the Rambo prequel, I think we're all in agreement that if it's got the right people, I think it can work. But the Expendables is something different. What say you, Josh? Do you think there's any life left in that franchise? Or the fact that all these guys are older, I mean, can you even find people to replace them?
Oh, God. How many Expendables have there been? I think I saw the first two.
I think there were 4 of them.
I think so. I don't think I saw 3 or 4.
I don't think
I did see the third one. That's the one where Mel Gibson was the villain, and they had a younger team, and Stallone towards the end of the film brings the older team back because they have to go and rescue the young bucks because they basically gotten themselves captured. So
got it. Well, to start, hi Derek, nice to see you, buddy.
Hello, Josh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Let's move on.
Let's move on. But yeah,
answer the question, Josh.
All right, Jack Nicholson, or Tom Cruise, whichever. Honestly, God, with Expendables, I don't. So they're wanting to have the same cast, or they're
no. My question is, do you think there's any life there? Because Lionsgate got the rights to distribute any future projects. You think there's any life there? Because for me, the whole point of the Expendables is to have all of these old 80s action stars and 90s action stars. And now that they're all pretty much too old, is there even an appeal there?
With them, I'd still watch it, maybe. Maybe if they did one more, you know?
But it would have to be them for you to watch it.
It would have to be them. Yeah, it would have to be them. I think that's what makes it funny, you know? And it's not funny, but who is it? It's Stallone. Isn't what's his name? Jason Statham in there?
Statham, yeah.
Statham is in there.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got Chuck Norris appeared in one. You've got what wasn't Jet Li in?
He was in one of them.
Yeah, and then of course you've also got our boy Arnold there.
You're not gonna have your mommy's hand behind you anymore. Wipe your little douches.
Get to the
after
chopper.
Looking it looks like most of the OG crew was gone already. So if they were to continue on with this, it does look like that. Like by the 4th one, it was like one of the leads was 50 Cent apparently, and Statham was kind of the main lead. So clearly they would have to go that route and just continue to like pull in some of these other people. I mean, you know, maybe you make like Keanu the head of the Expendables now, right?
How about a Mark Wahlberg?
That'd be funny.
Right.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, I think that could work. I think if you made him the face of it, you could at least start from there. Where it goes.
No, I think there could be think for Rambo, a Rambo prequel, I'm all. Who would play Rambo?
This guy right here, Noah Cosentino.
Yeah. If they went
Costanino,
young.
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe I'm sorry. It's so weird without like Stallone as Rambo. I don't know. You know?
No, I don't think they ever did one with Steven Seagal here.
I don't think so either.
I don't remember seeing Steven Seagal on one of those.
I love Steven Seagal.
You feel like he would have been in one.
Well, that's the thing is so many of these guys also had there was a lot of like budding like egos with all of these guys too.
Oh yeah.
So like I know that even in the early stuff there was some issues with some of that. So I mean, which granted, like the Fast and Furious franchise has also been like borderline this in a sense at this point because of all the people that they keep pulling into that.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, it's not undoable if you got like Mark Wahlberg, if you got Idris, if you got guy who plays Richter, if you got I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, I agree with Blunt and probably Henry Cavill. You'd probably want in there,
Mhm.
Get him in
especially because he's going to be doing Voltron and Highlander coming up, so you would want him up in there.
It'd be kind of fun to have a villain like make that a big name, like a Christian Bale as a villain could be really cool.
Ooh,
Right.
Now that I'd be down for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool.
I guess you could do it, but you're going to have to get really selective. You could do it.
Let's see.
Yeah. I think Seagal's was pretty good.
Yeah. Seagal's is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Carraday's was the original, to give him credit.
All right. Anything else about either the Rambo prequels or the Expendables franchise, or any final thoughts on the Mummy before we move on?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's move into something a little bit fun for the night. All right, so Blaine, back when I was on Criticless Cast, I noticed how you guys were doing some fun things here and there, and so I got kind of this idea of some fun things to incorporate here on the show, and so we're doing we kind of rotating throughout the month, doing different segments, and so we have circled back around to a segment called "Would You Rather." Now, this one is actually an idea that I had from you, and the question is: would you rather rewatch The Acolyte or drag your nuts across concrete?
That's fair.
Wow.
Fair question.
No, that's not the question. I just thought I would throw that.
I love that you brought that one back up. That one caught you guys off guard last time. And yes, also would rather drag my nuts across concrete instead of watching that show.
I think I would too.
I might agree with you.
Yeah. So, no, honestly, for the question for tonight is: would you rather date someone or be married to someone who hates live music, or date or be married to someone who hates going to the movies? Which would you rather have? Someone who hates going to the movies or someone who hates live music?
Ooh.
I know this one for sure.
Ooh.
It's the live music for me, for the simple fact that I do that less. Which maybe that's, simply because of what I do, especially. It's like there's a lot of movie watching happening in general. So, yeah, I love going to concerts. I actually did date a girl like this, and it was the final straw. It was actually why I dumped her, was because I had tickets for her to a show. And she's like, I told you I just don't like live music. And I was like, well, I'm going without you, and I'm done with you. So, as it goes.
So it's fine if she hates the movies, but she better like live music in your case.
Right. But, yeah,
Okay,
so I don't know. Yeah.
All right. No, that makes sense. What about you, Derek?
I'd probably want the girl who, at this juncture, hates live music because of the same explanation that Blaine gave. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I think you're right on that one there. Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, Derek.
Nothing subtle about that delivery whatsoever.
Nope. People have strong opinions about that show.
Yes,
to say the least.
Very ferocious opinions. No, I remember there was a time when I used to be a pretty big concert goer, and I had a great time. I used to date a girl who was really into going to concerts too, and It was a lot of fun when we did date, but I don't do it as much. I can't bring kids to live music as much as I would like to.
Right.
Movies are kind of where it's just going to be for me for now. That doesn't mean I can't, that you won't appreciate live music down the line. But let's face it, where I'm at right now, if I had a wife who hated going to the movies, I'd be like, what the hell are we going to do with our existence if we can't do that? Like, where are we in this world?
Okay.
Please.
So for you, it's fine if she hates the live music. You want her to like going to the movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about you, Josh?
Hates live music. I agree with Blaine and Derek. I think Blaine said I don't go there as much. I agree with him. We don't really, it's expensive. And God, I don't even remember the last concert I went to. Aerosmith, probably a couple.
That says all you need to know right there.
I mean, I just haven't. No, I apologize. I saw Phil Collins back in 2019.
Again, says all you need to know. Right
Perfect.
So yeah, what about you, Bobo?
All right, for me, it's probably that she hates going to the movies. And that's weird for me to say. No, that's weird for me to say because I'm Bob Loves Movies, but the reason I say that is because I got no problems going to a movie by myself. I don't want to go to a concert by myself. That's more of a shared type of experience. But if I can go to a movie by myself, I'm fine with that. I don't mind, sitting by myself, eating my hot dog and drinking my drink and just enjoying the movie. But
sometimes
I do not want to go to a concert myself.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you want to go to the movies by yourself. Just to be
right.
I need to get that. Blaine doesn't know this. I think I've seen 2 movies on my own my whole life.
Really? So funny enough, until I started doing this, I was in the exact same boat, and I viewed going to the movies by yourself as like barbaric. I'm like, who would do that? That sounds crazy. Like, what kind of weirdos going to the movies by themselves and sitting alone? Like, but now I'm like, oh no, there's a little bit that's kind of nice about this every once in a while. And now I don't really have a choice. I kind of have to because I have to see so much all the time that I'm like, I gotta go alone. And I do. Like you said, so there are sometimes when it is, like Derek was saying, like there's sometimes when it is actually better to go alone because, and especially now with me and doing this for a living, it's like I go at the weird times where no one's there, and I'm like quite often have most of the theater to myself, and it's awesome.
That's better. Oh, it's so good. Love
no, it's nice. I need to do it. I need to try it.
It's interesting.
And it's funny. The only times I think I went was because Bob was in the Army. He was at basic training, and I was like, I saw the Incredible. No, was it the Incredible Hulk? I saw my own. I don't know if it was the Hulk. For sure, it was Revenge of the Sith. For like the 5th time, I just went. I had wanted to see it, and I forgot what the other one was. But was it twice? I don't know. But I should try it. I really should again. I should get out of my.
Would an enema help?
Oh my god, that makes no sense.
Josh, though, I get that, man, because I was like always growing up. Josh and I were always going to movies together.
Yeah,
I mean that was the thing. I mean I've known Josh for years, so we were always going together, and then I think the first time you ended up going by yourself was because I was gone.
Yeah, it must have been. I think it was Incredible Hulk, and I remember writing you a letter. Remember, I wrote you a letter.
Yeah. I ended up having to do push-ups because of you.
Of course, good. It wasn't enough, apparently. Good Lord.
Yeah, that was funny. I'll tell you about that experience later. But so anyway, that was our would you rather question for the month. We'll circle back to that probably sometime next month. Before we get into our big topic, though, we wanted to do something to kind of have a little bit of fun and kind of lay the groundwork for that. And we are going to be talking about our favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. All right. So for our top 5 here, Blaine, again, these, and I mentioned this to you through the DMs, that this is your personal ranking. This isn't going to be like a tier list ranking or anything like that. These are going to be your favorite films. And so what we'll do is we'll each go around and list our 2 honorable mentions. And then after we go around and do that, we'll get into our top 5. So Josh, you just came on, and I see you're still writing them down, aren't you?
No, I have my list. I was just thinking of the honorable mentions.
All right, okay. You know what? I'm going to give you that opportunity. Okay, Josh, go ahead. Give me your 2 honorable mentions. What are your 2 the 2 Arnold movies that just did not make your top 5?
I would say the original Terminator. Because I'll explain later. And God, my second one, probably Total Recall.
Okay.
It was good. I saw it. You and I might have rented that, Bob. I mean, I've seen it a bunch of times.
We probably did.
It's good. Fun. It's good, but my top 5 are a top 5 for a reason. And I really think these are, to me, the best Arnold movies. So Total Recall and the original Terminator.
All right. Okay. Blaine, what are your 2 honorable mentions? Those 2 that just did not make your top 5.
Yeah, I've been tossing that around too. I was kind of struggling with these. Honestly, I think The Running Man is one of them. It's probably in that category. And I'm still, oh man, there's one that I don't know if I want to put. You know what I'm going to actually put there is Batman and Robin.
No,
what? Batman and Robin.
I expected that to be the number 1 film for all of us here.
I was really debating on trolling you guys with that because I have a lot of love for Batman and Robin. Deep love. There's a lot of Criticless lore surrounding Batman and Robin, and just that time period of those Batman movies. I have a GIF that I regularly share where it's just arrows pointing at Batman's nipples and it says "Never forget." I just listen. I want to bring Batman's nipples back. Like we need Bat nipples back.
Batman's nipples now.
Yeah. I want him back. Like I want Sparkle Batman. You know, our new Batman to have like 2-inch long nipples. That's what we need. I won't rest until it happens.
All right, so Bat nipples and The Running Man are Blaine's.
Oh my God!
Honorable mentions here.
How can I take critics' lists seriously now? I mean, come on,
most people. I get the comment regularly. I think it's mostly in jest, but this is the guy that said Jaws was mid. I uninstalled. So you know, I'm used to it at this point.
All right, Derek. What are your 2 honorable mentions here?
All right. You know what? Here's the thing. I left the feature topic for this evening. I left that one out of my top 5 and the discussion for tonight because it falls in there somewhere. I'm going to leave it out just because we're going to talk about it later. Okay. So I left that one off the list purposefully. But the first one I would have to say probably, and I'm going to get into this in my top 5 as well, like the little one here. But the first Terminator probably falls on my honorable mentions. It's a very, very good movie, but Arnold was in that more for looks, probably than anything else. Let's not kid ourselves. Now he's awesome in it. Don't get it twisted, but that's.
Yeah. I have that effect. It's
I do that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then the 6th one is one that we've come to know near and dear about. Stop Whining. And there's not going to be anybody here to wipe your little tushies. That's Kindergarten Cop. In the beginning of Kindergarten Cop, it looks like a regular Arnold movie, and then it just turns into this absurdity. But it's really funny absurdity too. Like it's very, very well done. Like the one scene when he finally yells at the kids to shut up, and then they all start crying. He goes, "No, don't you do this!" And then he runs outside of the school when no one's outside. But this is an emotion every dad has had. You just run out, you just go, "Ah!" You can't open it. You finally break. And the only thing you can do is find like a little fuzzy animal for kids to play with. And yes, thank you, Gary.
Yeah. Try telling Disney that. Get out of here.
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kim left to go to the bathroom. There is no bathroom.
No bathroom. That's right.
There is no bathroom.
So those are probably my 2 honorable mentions, and then we'll do top 5 accordingly.
All right. I'm going to put Predator in one of my honorable mentions. I know it almost seems like I know it almost seems like sacrilege, but I need to point out here.
Can one of you kick him? Somebody kick him. He's gone. Bob's out.
I want to point out. Okay, hold on. I want to point out that with my honorable mentions and my top five, they can actually rotate these because I like every single one of these films. So to actually put a couple of these in honorable mentions actually pained me to do so because I actually like every single one of these. So I'm putting Predator in there, and I think the original Predator is awesome. I mean, having him go up against the ultimate, hunter, I think was awesome. I love that sequence when he's fighting the Predator there in the jungle. It's just great. I also had Kindergarten Cop in my honorable mentions as well. I think Kindergarten Cop is hilarious. You mentioned it, Derek, how it starts off like a film. Jeez, Josh.
Say hi here. Say hi. Come say hi then if you're going to interrupt.
But it does feel like a film that's that it almost feels like something else. I mean, heck, you see him come up and he's got the weapon. He's like, I'm the potty pooper, and whatnot. It feels like it's going to go one way, but it goes somewhere else. So yeah, I got Kindergarten Cop in my honorable mentions. All right.
I am shocked by those.
So here's one, Pumping Iron. How about that?
Yeah, Pumping Iron. Yeah.
All right,
A lot of people love that. I've never actually seen it. Cool. I've only seen bits. And
I already saw somebody else mention Last Action Hero. I'll say it now. That's one that did not make my list, but that's also one that I think is pretty good. It's I think it's better than what it gets credit for. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into our top five. And the way we'll do this is just go ahead and read off your top five. So, Derek, we'll go to you. What are your top five?
All right. I'm going to start off with one that I don't think really gets as much credit as it should. And it's because I still think it's funny to this day. And my number five is Twins.
Ooh.
I love Twins. Twins is good, wholesome 80s fun. And it's not even like a violent movie at all. It's just, I mean, it has violent parts in it, but you watch it because of like just looking at these two together.
I mean, it's the moment I looked at you, I thought the moment I looked at you, I thought I was looking into a Mia.
We are not identical twins. Oh no.
I think my favorite part there is when that doctor says, all the strength and purity went into Julius. All the leftover crap went into what you see in the mirror. And he's like, I'm the crap? You're telling me I'm genetic garbage?
It's so brutal. It's so brutal. It's great.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, and it still holds the test of time, too. You can go back and watch that movie. You can still have a lot of laughs. It's great. My number 4 was one you already mentioned, Bob, and I think it's criminally underrated. My number 4 was Last Action Hero.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a very, very underappreciated movie. It actually has a really fun, very entertaining story premise. The idea of, films actually turning into real life. The Riddle of Steel.
So cool.
There you go.
I think a film that is, if you go back and watch it, it'll be cheesy at first, but if you watch it more and more, it's one of those films you got to watch more and more to appreciate it, and then you'll come to realize it's actually a very, very, very entertaining movie. Plus, shout out to AC/DC. It has one of their best songs tagged to it, which is Big Gun. There's not a lot to dislike about Last Action Hero. I think it's great. Really, really do. The scene with the Reaper, you guys know what I'm talking about. That's one for the ages. I'm pretty sure that's Ian McKellen, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
I think it might be.
When did that come out? 94? That came out in 94, right?
94, yeah.
I think 94 it came out. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, let's move on. Number 3. Number 3, yeah, we're gonna have to give that one to Predator. That's where Predator goes. Shame on you, Bob.
Yeah, Bob is in timeout.
At least I didn't say it was mid. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It could be worse.
Didn't you say it was mid when you put in your honorable mentions, though?
I mean, that's how I took it.
No, I didn't say it was meh. I could have been worse. I could have said it was mid.
I mean, listen, in my personal opinion, Derek still has it too low. Number 3 is, I take that as saying that it's mid, personally. So, you know,
Oh, wow.
I mean.
We know what Blaine's number 1 is then.
But I'll tell you,
Can you be any more obvious?
Right. Hey, I've seen Predator like 3 times in the past 6 months, so I'm just gonna put it that way.
by the way, Badlands is on its way too. By the way, folks. So
I'm so nervous. I think it's not gonna be good.
Probably not. None of them are good anymore.
Do you need a hug or something?
Yeah, I will. I really like this franchise.
What is your ranking on critics' list for Predator right now, Blaine?
Predator, I think it has 100% from me. If I'm not mistaken.
Wow,
I adore it. It is arguably the most manly film ever made.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you know, like the bro high five with the flexing, like came from that movie.
Yes.
Like that is one of the most manly movies in cinema history.
So
So
Bobby is not a man. Bobby is not a man because
you tell me that alien wasn't the coolest thing you saw when you were a little
dude.
Oh, God. We were so young when it came out too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it still holds. Like it still holds up. It still looks awesome. And I mean, even this, like, yeah, the way that they open the face, like the only thing about that movie that like doesn't hold is like the tech, like the stealth tech stuff. That's like, but I don't care. I don't care
I'm
that
fine.
it doesn't.
It makes
the casting in that movie. Arnold,
Dude, yes.
Carl Weathers, right?
Yeah,
Jesse Ventura.
those two, like,
Jesse Ventura.
yeah, Jesse Ventura.
Come on, like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's so iconic.
That was like the Expendables before the Expendables.
yes, but it was
Yeah.
I mean,
Lily put up her review. I somehow stumbled upon this, and Lily's review starts off with, "This movie is so cool," and it's exactly
Yeah.
I saw her review. Yeah.
Yeah, I showed it to my daughter, definitely too young, but like I was just watching it and
how
I was like, you know what? I saw this when I was like 10 years old. So, you know, like it is what it is. But she was like, she's 11 and she watched it with me and she was like, that was the coolest thing I have ever seen. Like just still like, I'm like, okay, good. It still holds up.
I love the fact that like not only does he have like the big reveal with the face, but he's got dreads on with this badass metal mat. Like, oh God, it's so cool.
By the way, Blaine, I commend you that you took your daughter. My mother, we talked about the other day. My mother took me to see RoboCop 2 in the theater. I was like 11 years old, and I mentioned that to her a couple weeks ago. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, I did."
Yeah, that's awesome. The original Predator design was totally different and was not remotely as cool, and it was played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
What, did you send me an article about that, Josh?
Yes, I did. That the original.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So wild.
Forgot about that.
Van Damme has his own place in the '80s. We're not throwing shade here at all.
Supposedly he was a diva on set, and that's why he wasn't the Predator anymore.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
I could see that.
All
right, what else you got, Derek?
All right, number 2. I'll tell this story again. Number 2 goes to Terminator 2. People tend to forget just how big that movie was and how anticipated that movie was. The marketing for that movie was unreal. I still remember it to this day. Yeah. You couldn't turn a corner without seeing like a McDonald's Terminator soda cup.
Yep.
They had like toys and Target or Walmart, whatever store you had. Glasses. The Ray-Bans got killer business based off that. Leather jackets came back into play if they had been forgotten about. I dressed up as Terminator for my 6th grade Halloween costume. I spray painted my Super Soaker black, and I got red contacts from my dad because he was an optometrist.
That's awesome.
I adore this movie. I wore a leather jacket and everything. And I already told you guys how, yes, I cried in that movie at the end when he gave the thumbs up. Yeah, I did. All right. I did.
But it was a manly cry, so it's okay.
Yeah.
No, the best part about it was my dad's like, "Are you crying?" Like he asked me like Tom Hanks from A League of Their Own.
There's no pride in baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think I said something. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, if that was
Not
my
to
dad,
your
he'd be
dad
like,
crying.
"Oh, somebody's gay." Like, "Oh, thanks, Dad." Like, great. He regularly, actually, speaking of, my dad will, there's a joke now, he will randomly pop into our live streams because my buddy Chris, who's on our show, also I grew up with, and he will literally come on our live stream to just call Chris gay and then leave the live stream.
Oh, that is epic. Derek would do that to me. Oh my god,
Absolutely.
that is epic.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So he just pops on and goes gay, and then
Yeah. Yeah. He's like,
Just
"Oh, there's
leaves.
Chris,
Yeah.
gay, bye." Like, you're like, okay.
Oh my god, that is
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. Oh, man.
Well, and then the best part was that, like, my dad clearly found out I was crying, and he laughed really hard because what else is, he got a great laugh out of it.
Yep.
And then
Of
at
course.
the end of it, after the credits were running, he just goes, "Hey, it just got you. It's
Mhm.
all right. We all have those movies." And
Yeah.
so, but number one,
What's
I'm not going
number
to say
one?
with the bullet because these are all very, very close. But number one to me is True Lies.
Okay.
True Lies to
Let's
me
go.
has everything.
Oh, I love True Lies.
There's not much you're not going to get out of a movie like that. Like like one of the big action sequences in the movie is a prank that he pulls on his wife and her boyfriend, like
Oh,
her mistress. Like,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. It's super funny. And then you have everything else, and then the real action begins, and then we're on a bridge, and Jamie Lee Curtis is hanging off a helicopter, and the fun ensues. Very little. I mean, if you can find me something that you just hated about True Lies, you let me know, and then I'll call you a communist as a result. That's fine.
Perfect.
All right, so True Lies. That's a good list there, Derek.
Yeah.
All right, Blaine. What are your top 5 here?
Yeah.
Predator,
So I'll start with
Predator,
number one. Right. Since you already know, I'll start with one and go the other way. Since y'all
All
know
right.
Predator's number one, I don't need to make my argument for that. It is the manliest movie ever made.
Right.
I love it with all my heart and soul. Terminator 2 is my second one. I like Terminator 1, but it just didn't make the list. I think that 2 is fantastic, and I only wanted one of the Terminator movies on my list. That movie's just near perfect as well. Number 3 is True Lies. That's up there in the top 3. I remember I actually didn't see that one till years later, and my buddy found out that I hadn't seen it, and he literally bought it for me on DVD, and he's like, "I'm coming over to your house. I'm bringing True Lies. You get to keep it, and we're gonna watch it." And I loved it. Yeah,
I did put Conan at least in the intro video, so I mean,
yeah. So I'm following that up with that was my struggle between 3 and 4 was Conan. So Conan is my number 4. So Conan did make my list. Conan is awesome, phenomenal soundtrack, just a badass manly movie. It's so good. My number 5 is probably what will shock you guys, and it just has to be in the top 5, is Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way.
Are you serious?
really?
Bro,
One of the worst
listen.
movies ever?
No, I watch it every Christmas. Okay,
Oh,
Jingle All the Way.
This thing. Come on.
It is iconic. It's
Ugh.
great. That's one of those that just, it's part of my childhood. I could not have it on the list. Like, I watch it every year. Like, the kids love it. It still holds up. It's super funny. I mean, it is stupid. Like, I am not saying that Jingle All the Way is like peak cinema or even necessarily like I don't even know. I don't even know if I could call it a good movie. I just love it. Like, I freaking love it.
Okay.
And it was kind of one of those where, like, because I saw it when I was young, it was like, that was actually kind of how I really was like, dude, I love Arnold. Like, this dude's great. And like, kind of early on encountered like his comedy and just like, as a kid, so funny. Like, it's just, you gotta love it. So yeah, Jingle All the Way had to be on the list. So that's my number 5.
All right, fair enough. All right, Josh, give me your top 5.
All right, so I got to take something back because I had this in my top 5, but then something else just replaced it. So my honorable mention, my other one was Commando, thanks to Derek and Bob. I love that. That movie was awesome. That movie was awesome. Yes, I did have it in my top 5, but this one was even better, and I think you guys will agree with me. True Lies.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed True Lies. Loved it. Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold were awesome. I mean, come on, that stripping scene and that movie had everything, and then running and getting to the
Pervert had
helicopter.
to mention that. Thanks.
I mean, that was awesome. That's funny. My number 4, Blaine will not be happy. Predator.
Oh no.
Predator.
Oh.
Number 4.
You're
Okay?
worse than Derek. You guys.
At least you guys had it higher on your list. You've at least earned a few points in Blaine's eyes.
I mean,
as
right.
opposed to me. So.
I remember.
All right.
I remember the previews for that movie, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Because I mean, I remember guys watching wrestling, and Jesse Ventura was gone, and it was like, "Oh my god, Jesse Ventura's in the new Predator movie." And then you have Arnold and Apollo Creed, and yeah, I gotta go back and watch. It's been years since I've seen it. I need to go back and watch it. It is so good. Shame on you, Bob. I love you, but shame on you that's not in your top 5. No, don't tell me to shut up. The fact that that's not in your top 5. Number 3 for me is Twins. Love that movie. Seen it so many times. What a great cast that is. True Lies, stripping scene, have Blaine reminiscing about the
Listen, man. Jamie Lee Curtis has got them yammies, bro. Them things like the cannons.
We could do a whole podcast on Cinemax After Dark. Let me tell you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
Don't.
We probably won't, but we could.
Yeah, right. That was it was Skinamax back then. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. That's what we.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you have one of those premium channels, don't act like you weren't up when you were a teenage boy.
Oh,
right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, we were actually joking recently. I don't know if y'all remember the time during that same period where there was a channel. It was like channel 96, and even if it was staticky, it was like one of the porno channels, and you could catch like a boob every once in a while, and we joked. I was joking with some buddies, and I was like, we should just make a joke shirt that's like channel 96 in between the fuzz, and just have like a static of like a chick like.
I saw this meme that has like a picture of the static channel.
Yeah,
and it said something like teenagers nowadays will never understand our frustration or something.
They don't know the struggle, man.
Yeah.
No.
So. All right, Josh, go ahead and finish up your top 5 there.
Yeah, so Twins. Number 2, I'm shocked that you guys didn't like this movie more. Kindergarten Cop. Like I said
it made my honorable mentions.
Yeah, that's not good. That's like Bobby saying Predators in his honorable mention. Come on. Blaine is not wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
Not wrong.
I mean, come on. We are about to play a wonderful game. Who is your daddy and what does he do? I mean,
Josh, you just have a new experience with that because you've had to do some substitute teaching.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just funny. It's just a great movie. And then even the chemistry between him and his partner, what was her name?
Oh God, Phoebe O'Hara.
Yes,
she's funny. She's really funny.
She is.
Yes, she is.
Funny.
Yeah. You're not so tough without your car, are you?
Best scene in the movie is when she drops that one.
And the poor thing gets sick, and she's sicker than a dog. And he comes in, and the hair's a mess. And she was like, "How was it? Horrible." And then they both pass out. And then she gets better. She's like, "I want to go eat. I want to go get," and she goes and eats like a steak and a blueberry pie, and even the ending of that movie was so good. The principal, when he leaves and she kind of does the punch,
Oh yeah.
I love that movie. And my number 1 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Terminator 2. That movie is incredible. That movie is so good. I almost said, but I caught myself that's what started having really good sequel movies, but Empire Strikes Back was before that.
Right.
There it is, Derek. You said it.
What? Did I say a Star Wars thing?
Yep. We were just wondering how long it would take you before you said one.
I wondered how long it was going to take you.
Yeah, well, there you go. But no.
But in all fairness, I brought it up first with the Acolyte, so
that's fair. That's true.
I'll give you that one.
But Terminator 2 was awesome. The graphics in that movie, just what they did for that time. What were we? 1992.
Yeah, I think so. I think it came out in 92.
And God, I remember to this day that I saw that movie at home. I had just had some teeth pulled, and I turned it on, and I was hooked. It was so good. And then I think I had seen the first one, and then Bob and I rented the first one again. I think, or maybe I had seen the first one with Bob, but I hadn't.
You probably did.
Yeah. But the second one was incredible. I think it's his best movie. Yeah, so that's mine. What
All
about
right.
you, Bobo?
All right. So at number 5 for me is Twins.
Okay.
This again goes back to the comedic timing between the two. The fact that the movie is supposed to be about them being polar opposites, yet being so much alike. I thought they were able to pull that off very well. And again, the comedy in it is hilarious. The scene where they're dancing together and he's teaching him to dance, that's hilarious. Just overall, I think that's a really good movie. It has a little bit of action in it, but the comedy just really lands. Number 4 for me, Commando.
Okay.
Commando. Now that is a manly movie too. You got Arnold carrying a tree for no freaking reason at all, but he's carrying a tree around. The only reason he's doing that is so you could see his muscles. Yeah, every single villain in that movie who's supposed to be his equal looks worse than him. Like the guy who plays Bennett is a fat dude, and whatnot.
Dude, that dude they got out of like a gay strip club. Like I watched that movie recently. That guy is wearing like bondage clothes and like it's like the mesh. And I was just like, what is going on with this guy? That movie's wild.
Yeah, Commando's great. The one-liners in that movie are classic. Arnold kills the guy on the plane. He's like, "Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired." Or he takes that pipe and throws it through Bennett. Let off some steam, Bennett. It's so terrible that it's good. I mean, the scene where he's in the mall and he's got like 10 guys jumping on him and he throws them all off of him.
Yes.
I mean, come on. That is a manly movie. It's terrible.
It is.
Love it. Number 3 for me is the original Terminator. I think that his role as the villain in that one is fantastic. He is that mindless, or I shouldn't say mindless, but I mean, he is that systematic killing machine. He's just fantastic in that role. This is the role that made him a legend, and that's the movie that really launched him. Also, my number 2 is Terminator 2. I put that ahead of that because I do think that that's a case where the sequel is better than the first one. And the fact that there was that twist that he was the hero, and if they hadn't revealed it in the trailers, it would have been even better, because then that whole buildup to where you see him walking towards John Connor, and then all of a sudden he tells him, "Get down." I think it would have hit so much more if you hadn't have known it already by that point. So, that's great.
Yeah, for real. That is true.
Best line ever.
For real.
That's probably true.
For real. Or Zendaya.
Oh gosh, yeah. She I could see that. All right, and then my number 1 is going to be True Lies, and that goes to the fact that you guys have already touched on it. It has everything that you want in a movie. It has action. It's got the romance. It's got the comedy. It's got a little bit of everything. You've got Arnold riding a horse through a hotel. You've got him flying a jet, flying a helicopter. He's doing everything. The Jamie Lee Curtis looks hot in that movie. The scene where he gets drugged and she finds out that he's a spy and she's asking him about it. I think that's hilarious. Have you killed anyone? Yeah, but they were all bad.
They were all bad.
So I think it's a great. I think it's great. Gray, my partner in crime over on the MSK show on Mondays. Gray, this is your list here. Last Action Hero, the Running Man, in which we're actually going to be getting into the Running Man here in just a moment. Total Recall, excellent. T2, and you also have Predator at number 1. So
he knows what's up.
So yeah, you know what's up.
He knows. Okay. He knows.
Gray, how much did Blaine pay you? I want to know.
Came out of nowhere. I was DMing like I need some backup over here. These guys.
A little Venmo transaction, real time.
Yeah.
That's a good list there, Gray.
Venmo transaction.
So those are our top 5 favorite Arnold movies. All right, before we get into our main topic for the night, Blaine, you got to give us here about 5 minutes as we got some business to attend
to. I thought you already did it. I thought
No, Josh, we didn't. No, Josh, we didn't already do it. This is the point of the show where it comes. So, for those that are watching, we are doing a fantasy football league here on Dad's Turn to Talk. Before we get into that, real quick, here's another list: Subtle Deviancy, Conan, Terminator, Predator, Pumping Iron, and True Lies. Good list. Also, I think there's almost no way you can go wrong with an Arnold list here. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but he's got so many good ones out there. So, as we get into our fantasy football league, one thing, because there are only 3 of us, it doesn't work out for 2 of us every week.
You bunch of losers!
And this week, things are back to normal as once again, Josh is in last place.
I gave you the other picture to put.
Josh, shut up. You're going to live with this one. So, you went with Jared Goff. He did fine with 19.36 points. You went with Travis Etienne, running back 16.5. Jahmyr Gibbs really was a letdown as the Lions themselves were a letdown, 5.8 points. You went with Johnston from the Chargers, 15.3. Troy Franklin, 8.3 points. I do think that the Texans defense is a lot better than people give them credit for, so it's not a surprise that they slowed Denver down. You went with Matt Collins, 2.9 points. Oronde Gadsden at 11.8. Yapuka Nakua was your biggest play at 22.8 points in your flex. Your defense was really good with the Steelers. Your final score was 120.76. Final verdict?
It has a sensor. It won't let you slam the door on your arm or leg.
There you go.
Oh!
Yeah.
So, Josh, that was your lineup in last place.
Hold on 1 second. Do you see Tom and Blaine's picture? Tom from MySpace?
Yeah.
A+.
That's what that is. Yeah.
That's an A+.
Been a while since we've seen Tom.
Tom from MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go ahead and second place. Derek, this was actually a pretty good lineup here.
Jeez, Derek, good for you.
You went with Josh Allen at quarterback, 28.82 points. Christian McCaffrey, 37.3. You also went with Gibbs. This is probably what cost you the win right here, 5.8 points. T. Higgins, great play, 36.1 points. Pierce was also a really good play from Indianapolis, 20.5 points. Dyke also from Tennessee, you went back to the well with him, 7.5. George Kittle at tight end, 6.9. You went with Parker Washington, excellent play. I almost played him. No, I did, because with Travis Hunter out, I figured that Parker Washington was going to step up because he's shown some chemistry with Lawrence in the past. And he was cheap. Yep. You went with the Texans defense, 8 points. Your final score was 167.92. Final verdict?
A toast to, yes, long friendship.
So you got close there, Derek, but not quite close enough. That's because of the score for our champ for the week. So I went with Mac Jones, 16.8 points. Vidal at running back, 3 points. He almost cost me, but didn't. I can't pronounce his name. Mangani from Chicago, 25.8 points. Went with Michael Pittman, 23.5. T. Higgins I also went with 36.1. Juwan Jennings, 14.1. Warren at tight end, 7.6. I went with Christian McCaffrey at 37.3 in my flex. I also went with the Lions defense. My final score, and this is the third time I got over 170 points this season, 171.20 points. Final verdict?
Idiot.
That was weird.
Our leaderboard for the season so far, I have 5 wins. Josh at 3. Derek, you are still in the rear, my man.
What is going on, man?
Well,
shut up.
You look as bad as Blaine scores from last season.
What a loser!
Because I was in the league with Blade last year. Weren't you at last place, Blade, or was it next to last place?
It ended up being second to last. Thank you very much. But that was also, I think I watched like 3 games that entire season, and they weren't even the entire games that I watched. So, and also that does sound. Sound like it could definitely happen. Also speaking of Josh, my profile picture there. Actually, that is. Hold on, that's me. We did a direct copy of MySpace Tom.
Oh, that
and
is you.
I see it. Oh my,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
we did a 1-for-1. People keep thinking that it's the original, but we mimicked it for my profile on Criticless and copied it because my account is handled like MySpace Tom, where I'm your first friend when you get on. So we were like, it'd be great if I just completely ripped it off and leaned into the MySpace Tom thing.
Awesome.
And it's funny though that you mentioned how you're the first friend, because when I joined Criticless, you were the first one who reached out to me, and that's what kept me there. And you've always been good to me and everything. So.
Amen.
I've always appreciated that. So yeah, you got something good going over there. So again, that was our fantasy football for the week. Let's go ahead and get into our main topic for the night. All right. This is one that I have been waiting to talk about. When I first heard that, we saw the first trailer for the Running Man reboot, Josh, Derek, and I told them we need to do a review of the original Running Man, and then we need to go into watching the reboot and doing a review of that one as well. So this is one I have been looking forward to. The original Running Man came out in 1987. It stars, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger. The director, let me go ahead and pull up his name here real quick. Paul Michael Glasser. He's actually who played Starsky in Starsky and Hutch.
Really?
I didn't know that.
That's
yeah, he was the original Starsky. So his background is actually in television, and that's kind of interesting because Arnold has quoted it as having said that The Running Man was filmed very much like an episode of TV. And so I think that's why it was kind of filmed the way that it was. Also, I did find out that Christopher Reeve was originally supposed to play Ben Richards, and this was originally supposed to be closer to the book, kind of like the version we're going to be getting in the reboot. And instead, it had Arnold. It got more, bigger, flashier, and everything. We got Richard Dawson in there as what was his name? Killian.
Yeah.
As Damon Killian. So, it became something completely different. But this is an 80s film. I mean, this has everything that you could think of with the 80s. Just an example I want to point out before I let you guys get into your reviews. There's a scene when he goes into his brother's apartment, and the lady's now living there, and she's sitting there working out in lingerie. She's not in an actual workout gear or anything like that. She's sitting there doing sit-ups and everything in her lingerie, because we know that that's what women in the 80s did. They did.
If they're not, what are they doing?
Lingerie.
I mean, really, like that's how I expect. In my head, that's how they all work out, right?
Exactly.
They did that when they were working out?
Right. Like, which.
So this is like the quintessential 80s film. So my question is, as you guys give me your reviews, is this dumb 80s fun? Is this just dumb? What do you guys think of this? Josh, I will start with you. Because you never saw The Running Man.
Never seen it.
So,
correct.
Since this is your first time seeing this, give us your thoughts.
Okay, I get the nostalgia. I get, it was fun. It's not my favorite.
Don't.
What?
Do not.
What?
You show this film the decency and respect it deserves.
Okay. By the way, I forgot to mention, I'm so sorry, Bob. I just got to say, Derek, if you need help with fantasy, I'd be glad to help you anytime.
No, I don't. And you know what? I have better things to do with my time than talk to you, General.
Okay. No. The offer is there, one win, Derek.
I'm good.
Anyway, but
still losing, Josh,
but some parts, it doesn't matter. I'm down by 2. And
yes,
I
it does.
Week. I had my daughter do the picks for me, so just to give you guys a chance.
Get into the movie, Josh.
Sorry.
Yeah, are you gonna shut up finally?
Shut up, Derek.
You gotta forgive us over here, Blaine. We're like a bunch of brothers over here fighting.
Anyway, I thought it was good. There were some scenes I'd love seeing Richard Dawson. I'm very curious about the new one because, like Bob said, it follows the book, and there was really no storyline at all. But most 80s movies have no storylines, and so if it follows the book, I'm thinking maybe in the new one we'll get a better plot than we did in this one. I mean, I thought the ending was funny with putting Dawson in the whatever it was. They're like he just goes and
the chute.
Yeah, the chute, and keeps going and going and going. It was weird. And then it was interesting when she got away from him at the airport, and then she sees him again, and he's in the handcuffs. So he's just staring at her, and her friend is kind of like, "Ooh, that's kind of nice." I mean, again, though, I didn't, I went like Commando. I loved like Commando. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. This movie, I was like, okay, I get why Derek likes it. I just didn't think for me it was the best.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right.
So wait, hold on, Josh. Critical scale. If you were to put this at like 0 to 100,
okay,
where would you put this?
Oh yeah. Probably around 65.
Okay. So still a rad.
What is that?
And I'm glad you brought that up, Blaine, because I wanted to bring that up.
What is
the
that?
critical score. So let me go ahead and share my screen here because I just pulled this up, and I know you recently added your review.
I did.
So right now it's sitting at a 69%. Let me blow up my screen a little bit here.
So I'm a little bit lower.
It's still pretty good, all things considered.
All right, so we got a 69%. It's sitting at a rad score. Blaine, I know, again, you just put yours up here, so you got the most recent review here. You got it at 77%. Here, so here's one at 60, 85%. 79, 63. So we're seeing a lot of rads. Here's one that's a decent. Bogus. Oh my gosh. No.
Abomination. Oh my goodness.
Most excellent. Now we're talking rad. Most excellent. So, okay. They seem pretty varied here, but overall the main score is sitting in that rad section there. So,
and no heinuses, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I didn't see any initially because I was actually looking at that earlier. So, all right. So you scored it at a 77%. Blaine, what are your thoughts on it? Is this just dumb fun? Is this good? What do you think here?
I mean, it is everything that I expect from an 80s movie and more. Like, this is steeped in 80s to a level that like is hard to fathom, and it's so much so that like there's a part of me that just wants to give it 100 because it is so 80s. If you look at Criticless and like the vibe of the app, you know that I love this time period. You know I love this vibe. I mean, you literally had like the exercise babes in the spandex and like the freaking thongs like dancing, and like I mean like everything's in there. You had like the synthwave computer screens with all the grids, and there's like lasers and neon everywhere, and I'm just like, oh, like it's rad. This movie's so cool. Like it's such a freaking cool movie.
You mentioned it's got everything.
Yes.
But it's so 80s. It's just a bunch of synth going all throughout the score.
Yes, the movie is just synth, like whether it's the visuals, it's the music, like all of the stuff is just iconic, like steeped in 80s-ness, which I love. Even with the story where it's like, yeah, this veered off the path of what it was at the time, or like what the book was, but also it makes sense for the time. Like it makes sense for the 80s. This was a very on the nose 80s thing to do, to basically like, this was the best episode of American Gladiators ever. Like that's what this movie is. And there's no way that this movie did not inspire that show, considering they came out 1 year apart. Like, come on. It absolutely did. And I loved American Gladiators growing up. Like, I do think that the original premise of the movie book would have been super cool to do this like cross country, actually really dig into the Running Man thing. But it kept it smaller scale, and it worked. It's simple. It's a goofy Arnold movie. It was still earlier in his career too. Like, he wasn't still to like peak Arnold acting yet. But I think it's a blast. I just love how 80s it is. And that alone is enough that I'm like all the points just for that, because it's just super nostalgic. Even though, and I will say, this was my first time ever seeing this movie. Like, I had never seen it before either. And
Really?
So, yeah, I somehow I just totally missed this one. And so I had a blast, man. I love it. I think it's super cool. I would watch it again. And I hope. The new one is my most anticipated movie of the year. Wow, really? The new Running Man is my favorite director. Edgar Wright is making this movie. He is hands down my favorite director. Like, he does excellent work. As long as he does not take this movie modern politics, then this will be likely the best film of the year, at least for me. Just because I love everything he touches. And I also love Glenn Powell. Like, I think he is one of the best up-and-coming actors out. And so everything about it has the potential to be great. And it also looks like they are still leaning into the nostalgia of this movie. Like, there are things from that trailer that you can tell they pulled from this movie and still are building onto, like, the original book more than the movie, though. So,
yeah. You know what? You mentioned, Josh, how there wasn't really much of a story, and you could definitely see that because there's hints of a storyline here. Oh, well, we got to take down, we got to put in the code to take down the grid and all the, and there's all this stuff that really doesn't go anywhere because the story is just about him trying to survive, and his friends and
take him down
and this lady. I mean, that's what the story is, and there's all this other fluff around that really doesn't matter. You could take all that stuff out and not miss a beat. So it doesn't close up some of its loopholes or anything like that. But kind of like what Blaine says, I don't think it matters. Derek, what do you think?
Okay, so I forgot to tell you what my real top 5 was for Arnold movies. Number 5 is The Running Man. Number 4 is The Running Man.
No, it's not. Don't lie.
Number 3 is The Running Man.
No.
Number 2 is The Running Man. Shut up, Josh. Number 1 is The Running Man.
Don't lie in front of Blaine.
Shut. Stop it.
Liar.
Enough. You've had your time.
A liar.
Hush. Enough. This movie is 80s excellence. And, I mean, it is 80s excellence to a point where if you can't appreciate this movie, how bitter of a human being are you?
Right.
Like, we have the holiday season coming up. I don't want to be anywhere near you with that joyous time of the year. What a bitter prick you must be. I mean, seriously, this is one of like the best movies that the 80s has ever generated. It's so silly. It's so over the top. It's so great. Oh yeah, and that's good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
It just like the premise of it is crazy, and I mean that came from the book, not obviously not the movie, but just this has like everything that 80s can deliver to you. Like to this day, I think the idea of the Stalkers is like my favorite. I love that. I like Sub-Zero, Buzzsaw, Dynamo, Fireball, Captain America. Those are the 5. Got them all right. So yeah, I memorized all of them. That's right. That's me.
And Derek, what were you telling me earlier today about Dynamo?
Oh,
dude,
yes.
Dynamo. Oh my gosh.
So, Dynamo, that the guy who played Dynamo, he was an actual opera singer. That wasn't BS. He was a real life opera singer.
Really?
And they hired him because they wanted to do something absurd. But his voice in there, that's his voice. That was not a prank of any type.
I mean, it was either him or Meatloaf, and he got the role. So, you know,
I would do anything for love.
I mean, he's fan. I mean, all of them are fantastic. To this day, like, I get like goosebumps when I hear the Fireball chant, Fireball, Fireball, and then Jim Brown comes out, shout out Hall of Fame, and I can't express like all the goodness that this movie brings to this day. Now, Blaine, I'm gonna really root for you here because I don't know what this next one's gonna deliver, but
I know
it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Now they don't have stalkers, with I think is BS because there should be a fireball in that movie too. But okay.
Right.
All right. You know what? Fine. It looks like there's gonna be plenty of fun either way. So I don't think they're gonna not deliver. You're right, Blaine. Edgar is a hell of a director. And if to this day, like my wife and I, one of our favorite movies is Baby Driver. Like it's such a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
So much.
Scott Pilgrim for me. I'm just like,
Great movie. Great movie.
Like I love Scott Pilgrim so much. He's just the dude's great. He does excellent work. I really hope, like, we haven't seen anything out of him in a while, and I'm just like, I need for it to be good.
I know.
That's so badly.
See, that's the thing too, is that like everybody, like we're all like just waiting for that one where it's like, come on, man, like give me something to stick my teeth into. I need the one, and we'll see. You know, I'm really hoping good things for this one. Now, to be fair, we've had this talk on this podcast as well. Just because it may not do killer business doesn't mean it's a bad film either.
Absolutely.
So let's remember that. Just because it doesn't do, the $1 billion mark doesn't mean it's a bad film. But I really do hope this one does well on all the fronts. Just hits the beats and gets a success. And I love 1987's version of it, and I'm really hoping that this one is going to do a very good amount of justice to it. So, man, there's not much more to say about The Running Man that you guys we've already been talking about how awesome it is. I can't really add anything else except a fireball chant. Other than that,
Bob, did you see Scott Pilgrim versus the World or no?
I saw it once.
Okay.
Good.
I need to go back. I need to go back and do a rewatch of that one because that's one that I don't really remember a whole lot. But yeah,
it's so funny.
Good fun.
It's just so funny.
Oh, a very good point there is like when the stalkers do show up, they do bring this kind of aura and gravitas to it. And and the way the crowd, of course, was really getting behind it, and you could see they all had their favorite stalker, and they'd ask him, "Okay, who are you going to pick?" Well, I kind of want to pick this one, and I kind of want to pick this one. Well, you're in luck because they're both going in there. So,
dude,
I really
the car that he drove in on, and oh my god, like just it's amazing,
so
like
good.
Just. It's ludicrous, the whole film. And the thing is there were multiple scenes where you're like, you can even still see where the 80s were hammy, but there were scenes and you're like, they were self-aware. Like they also knew that some of this was super goofy. And then you're
absolutely.
like, I'm good with it.
Yeah. They really lean into that 80s goofiness there. I mean, oh gosh. The one scene that is a good example of how they were so self-aware is when Jesse Ventura had to go get into his outfit.
Oh,
he walks in and he's got this stupid thing on and he's like, no, I am not wearing this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I was killing people with my bare hands.
Those yellow outfits. But I got confused at the scene when Jesse beats him, but then you see Arnold in the other place. What was that about?
Okay, that was all them. What they were doing was they couldn't let him win. They weren't going to. The plan was that he was going to get killed by one of the other stalkers, but he made it through 3 groups of them. So they had to. Now that he was at the final quarter, they had to end it. And so what they did was they had Jesse Ventura fight somebody, and digitally they altered the face, and that way they could say, oh, he lost. And the point was they were going to hunt him and the lady down in the arena off camera, so when nobody saw it. They were just and Ben Richards even mentions it. He's like, this is not good that they think we're dead, because now they're going to come down here and they're going to send the army down to come after us. That was the whole point to that. It was about creating the illusion so that way they could keep their fan base happy and them not asking questions about what was really going on in society, because that's what the whole point of The Running Man was. It was like Rome. It was where the gladiators were made to distract the populace, keep them happy, so that way they weren't asking questions. You've seen the movie Gladiator, right, Josh?
Yep.
Okay. You remember where the scene where it's one of the senators is talking with somebody else, and the guy's like, I can't believe he's bringing the gladiators back. And the senator's like, no, the Emperor Commodus, he knows what Rome is. It's the mob.
Yeah,
and if
Rome
he's going
is
to
the
bring
mob.
them death, and they're going to love him for it. And that's essentially what they're doing here, is that they're bringing them death. They're bringing them these games, and that the audience was going to love them for it and not ask too many questions about what was really going on in society. Because even the movie starts with some of the atrocities that were going on in society. And that was something that I thought really interested me, the way the movie starts. It gives you a quick description as to what's going on, but it just jumps straight in. It does not give us a little bit of background on Ben Richards. We don't see him with his brother. We don't see him with his family or friends or any of that. He's flying his helicopter, getting the order, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do this. And next thing you know, he's in jail because he didn't go through with it, and he's being framed for what he was ordered to do anyway. So, and why? Because there was public backlash to it. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll just turn it on him. It was all about manipulating the media, controlling the narrative, and keeping people from asking too many questions. And so, yeah, the movie just really just jumps straight into everything. Now, it doesn't really go in too deeply into the way that that you kind of hope it would. Instead, it does stay simple, but I think that works for this movie. It doesn't need to go very deep. The fact that it's a good action romp of, Arnold's basically trying to survive, I think is a lot of fun. And you do have these flamboyant characters or these characters with a lot of gravitas, and that makes this a lot of fun. You mentioned, Blaine, about how Predator is a very manly movie. Here's another one. You got look at the cast in this thing. You got Arnold, Jesse Ventura. Like you said, this is American Gladiators.
Yeah.
This is a manly movie.
So much spandex. So much.
So much.
Yellow was like Wolverine.
Yeah, you got women dancing around, on a game show where they're killing everybody. You got this woman doing, sit-ups in her lingerie for no reason. You got Arnold carrying around stuff just to show off his muscles for no reason. Everything is typical, just 80s cheese, but it is fun. This movie is an absolute blast. Greg pointing out Dynamo. Yeah, Dynamo.
Yeah.
But
we're aware.
He's fun.
I am seeing. I think that this new movie, they've been holding a lot back from us from that movie. And I did just see that apparently the movie is having some of the hunters. Is that what they're called? Or the stalkers. They're going to be stalkers in this new movie, apparently.
Good.
Yes. So now I don't know that they're going to be as ludicrous, but I would say this, like I said, I do think that they're holding stuff back, and Edgar Wright does wacky and goofy really well. So I could see him keeping that out of the marketing.
Say no more. If stalkers are in this one now, I was worried there weren't. Now that there are, oh my God.
Yeah, because I'm seeing there's pictures only of one stalker of like a masked man that they've shown, but that's it.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
So,
I'll take it.
I like the idea of how in the reboot, and again, I understand it's closer to the original story, that it's over a course of 30 days, and it's not just stalkers hunting him. Anybody can hunt him. And so I kind of like that. And it's, like you said, cross country and all that. But the fact that they made this film very self-contained, I think works for the time period. Having Richard Dawson as Killian works perfectly because he was so well known. I was just waiting for him to kiss one of the ladies because he was known for kissing the ladies.
I know. He kissed one of them. He kissed one.
He might have. I might have missed that.
Or one of them kissed him on the cheek.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when he asks that old lady, "Who's gonna get the next kill?" And she says, Ben Richards. You're supposed to pick one of the stalkers. I can pick who I want. I'm picking Ben Richards. He's one mean dude. And then you see everybody on the outside as they're taking bets. All of a sudden, 200 on Ben Richards.
And the gambling's run by like the two Mexican dudes. Like they're just like
so good.
Oh, it's great. Like there's just so much little nuance in some of the goofiness of this movie that is just so much fun. I do kind of wish, because they did keep it so small scale, like we never got an idea of what was going on with the outer world. Like we don't know anything about the government or like any of that, which is,
Yeah.
I guess, fine. But like, it did make me curious, and I feel like we'll likely get some of that in the new movie because it's almost odd to not have it because you're just like, what else is going on besides them killing civilians? Like, what else is going on in this world?
It's almost like the film could have had a sequel to explore some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously it didn't, because the film, from my understanding, had like a $23 million budget or something like that. Let me get the exact budget.
The budget.
Film had let's see.
That went all to Dynamite.
It was a $27 million budget. It made $38 million at the box office. So for the time period, it still made.
That's
profit.
a pretty big budget for the time too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a decent, and I mean, you could tell this movie, like, they put a lot into it. Like they really went there with some of it, and I appreciate that because I was expecting it to be a bit more like, it is cheesy and hammy, but I figured it was going to be cheesy and hammy in some of the ways that some of the stuff from the 80s was, where you're like, this is like bad, like, you know, but it wasn't that. I was like, oh, this has like a budget behind it. Like, they really went for it.
Yeah.
So
I
real
think-
talk though. How much cocaine was Buzz on?
Dude.
God.
Dude.
Yeah, come on.
Talk about 80s.
It was 87.
So
Hell of a
but
job.
yeah, this is everything that you'd expect from an 80s film. I do think that it's dumb 80s fun, but I think it is fun. That's the key word there. This is a movie is a blast. I don't care what you say, Josh. This movie was a blast.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is almost as bad. Your take on this movie is almost as bad as Blaine's take on Jaws.
Wait a minute, what was
You just-
on Jaws?
Mid, so
I gave it a 50%.
What? What?
What?
I know.
Okay, all right, Blaine, you got to answer this question here.
Yeah.
If you were a stalker, what would your outfit and method of lethality be?
Exactly what he's wearing right now.
Yeah,
No.
it probably would.
Nuts along concrete, right? I mean, that's gotta be it.
Exactly. I just have like a camel skinner, and I'm taking people's scrotes, you know. That's it.
All right.
Hold on.
It'd
I
be
have
pretty
to go back to
barbaric.
Jaws. What was wrong with Jaws?
No, so the kind of, I didn't actually see Jaws for the first time in its entirety until I was much older, like probably like 19 or so, or like 17, 18. And I'd just seen a lot before it, and so it never scared me. I never found it to be a scary movie, and so like I see it as a quality, like, well-made film, good for the time, like all of that. I appreciate the acting and everything, but like for me, I kind of judge things on like how it entertains me, and like if it does what it set out to do, which is be a horror movie. And so I'm like, well, it doesn't scare me. I don't really have any suspense in it, and I just kind of get bored. So I'm like, I appreciate it for a film, but it bores me. So I just, I know it's super controversial, but it's one of those things. I think that it needs to be seen when you're younger. Like, I really do. Like, I think that the nostalgia for it, and like it being scary and seeing it, and I've never been big into shark movies either. I just don't really like them for whatever reason. I think that, like, I'm like, man, there's so many cool sea monster things that you could do, and to make up these crazy sea monsters, and we get sharks all the time.
See, now we get to it. If you're not into that, you're not gonna like this. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Josh, I was actually mentioning earlier, and obviously you weren't on when we mentioned it, but I was saying how when Blaine put that out there, everybody was out to get him. In fact, I have some footage of that here. Let me show you. So,
I mean, I can't figure out Blaine. He's a nice guy. He's got a great website, but he hates Airplane. He hates Jaws. I'm like,
that's a good point there, Gray, about the musical tension in Jaws.
Yeah.
So that really builds
come
that
on.
up. But
That's a good
Let's
point.
let's not bring Airplane into this. They finally have quit calling me Shirley, but now it's like Bruce. So I've just moved from
the
one.
shark, Bruce.
Yeah, I've moved from
That's
one
great.
nickname to another at this point.
Yep.
So It's unavoidable. I just keep finding myself in controversy, but I'm just leaning into the fact that I give the opinions that everyone else is scared to give. You know, I'm just like, everyone else is just cowards. They're scared of the response they're going to get.
But you know what? I pointed that out earlier. That's one of the things I love about Criticless is that it's not an echo chamber. You can give your honest opinion. And back to the Running Man, we do see a lot of varied views in there. It's not all the same, but sitting there at that rad score, I do think that it's earned.
It's true.
Yeah. So but overall, I do think that the Running Man, I think again, it's dumb fun, but it is fun. It's one of those Arnold movies that you could have a blast with. I almost put that up in my list after rewatching this. It didn't quite make the cut, but it's not because I didn't enjoy it. I may watch it another day and it may bump up in there, but excellent movie. I had a good time with this one.
Nice. Thank you.
All right. Anything else about the Running Man before we move into our final thoughts and rants with Derek for the night?
You see you guys on November 14th. See you there.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this here real quick.
I like that crypto is in there. That's
okay. So the story behind that, Blaine, real quick, is that when we did the trailer reaction to the first teaser trailer, and we did that together, and we talked about it a little bit afterwards, and Derek wasn't too fond of crypto. Well, people were coming after him in the comments, and that was our best viewed video for this stream.
6,000 views. 6,000 views.
So for us, that's great. So I mean, we'll take that any day. But so they were really on Derek about crypto, and so ever since then we've been teasing Derek about being our resident dog. So Derek, what do you got for us tonight?
All right. Well, let me just make something clear before we get started here. That crypto was the least of that movie's problems. Okay. So, gentlemen, we find ourselves entering the season of winter. It's cold. It gets dark earlier. I hate this time of the year. I can't stand it. But here's what I can't stand even more. You ever have that moment when you think to yourself, man, I could really go for some ice cream. And then you have that one rude son of a bitch friend who says to you, really? It's so cold.
What?
That's right, a-hole, and I'm going to have some more while I'm at it, just because of you.
Who is it?
You know the one. Don't act like you don't know the one.
Oh, I bet. Okay.
All right. So ice cream is perfect. Perfect any time of the year.
Yes.
I don't care what time of the year we're at. Don't tell me you guys ain't down for some ice cream right now while we're talking.
Yeah. You already made me want some. I want some currently.
Throw out your flavors. Go ahead. Anybody? Come on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Dude, Oreo is, I mean, for me, it's like an Oreo blizzard.
Cookies and cream.
Okay.
God, yeah.
Oreo, cookies and cream, Rocky Road, strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Orange
just-
push-up. That's a good one, too.
See?
All of them. Mint chocolate chip.
All right.
Yeah. There you
Now,
go.
this is just to name a few, folks. Did anybody hesitate when doing that? Did we say, oh, no, it's too cold for that? No, we didn't. Because you should appreciate ice cream all year round.
Yep.
And if you don't, again, you're that sad, bitter son of a bitch who doesn't like the Running Man, probably.
Probably.
I don't need to be around you. Appreciate ice cream all year round is my point, folks.
Yeah.
It deserves it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well
Even
said,
if you're
Derek.
lactose intolerant, I mean, it's worth shitting yourself. Ice cream is worth that.
I mean, okay, you probably don't want to do it as often, but every once in a while, just be near where you need to be near.
Right.
Fair?
Right.
Okay.
There you go.
I think that's fair.
All right, gentlemen. I think we're going to wrap it up here for the night. We'll close it up with some social media. Blaine, where can we find you on social media? And is there anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Criticless. I'm your MySpace Tom, your first friend. So Criticless is the place where I am the most. But I'm on X, Criticless BA, and I don't even use like Instagram or anywhere else anymore. I'm pretty much on X or on Criticless, and then on our YouTube channel for Criticless Cast, because that's really where we, as far as social stuff, kind of where we put our efforts, because it's a great way to market the app and to engage with all of our people. And I've seen a bunch of our folks in the chat, so thanks for everybody that popped into the chat and said hello and stuff. Yeah, we appreciate you guys in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. We definitely love to have y'all back for other episodes. Next week, we're actually going to be reviewing Frankenstein, and we're going to be having our honorary dad, Lily, at 300 Mirrors. She's going to be back with us again. I know she's with you over on the Monday Hangover, Blaine.
Yeah.
We'll have her back on. So that'll be really cool. All right. So,
awesome.
Derek, where can we find you at?
Unfortunately, I just got reminded that The Running Man was made in 1987, and now that I feel older than dirt, I'll be hanging out with all the other old people over on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Huh. There you go.
What about you, Josh?
Well, I don't know if you know this, Blaine. I just started a new job, and so I'm a legal recruiter. So I will be hanging out with Derek on LinkedIn, because that's where I'm doing all my work. You can also, I guess, find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
All right. And you can find me over on my YouTube channel. Was it good? Easiest way to find me is at Bob Loves Movies. You can also find me on the MSK show on Mondays. You can find me on The Last Panel over on Lapsed Comics channel on Fridays. And you can find me on X and on Criticless. And of course here on Wednesdays. Well, we're still not sure 100% as the day now that we're going live. Time might be a little bit different. We'll all talk about that, and we'll get that figured out, how we're going to be doing our live streams. But probably either Wednesday or Tuesday or Thursday, we'll probably keep the date somewhere around there. We'll be here at Dad's Turn to Talk. We appreciate everybody joining us. We had a blast talking about this one. Again, join us next week. We are going to be talking about Frankenstein. I did have the opportunity to see that in the theaters. I thought that was awesome. I can't wait to talk about this one. It releases on Friday to Netflix. So everyone check that out and then come back and let's all talk about it next week. Gentlemen, it was great having you guys on, and you guys have yourselves a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.